We cannot beat the Australians unless we compete, and the club sides have shown them that it is possible. They're not supermen, they can be beat, but we've got to play for 80 minutes.
Now your team, Wigan, lost to them, what, 13-9, which is the smallest margin of all on the tour. How did you play them then?
We played them as a team. We went out to think there was no better than us, and we just went out and tattled and played man for man. And there is a way to beat these fellas. They're a very good side, nobody doubts that, but they are beatable. I think we're frightened of them a little bit now. I think the reputation's getting bigger than what they are.
Are they showing signs of strain, do you think, as the tour goes on?
Well, I would think so, because they've had two very hard games. Fulham, where they struggled with the second division side, and then Hull in the week, where they was losing 7-0 at half-time. So really, this should encourage Great Britain. They can be beat, but we've got to play as a team to beat them.
Well, Great Britain make, what, 10 changes for tomorrow from the first test. What difference will they make, do you think?
Well, on club form, I admire the selectors this time, because they have picked players on form. Before, they picked them from a squad. I'm a little bit mystified to realise that 6 of these lads have never been in a squad, which is supposed to be the be-all and end-all of our efforts, and they've never been in the squad at all. But I think we've picked players who are playing well for the clubs, and I think with the Speckies getting behind them, it's going to be a lot closer than what it was at Hull.
Now, we invented this game over here. Why has this gulf developed between Great Britain now and the Australians?
Well, I think it's developed personally because they've got a lot of new techniques. It's a big business in Australia. There's a lot of money at stake. And I think our lads have become a little bit complacent. We don't train as hard as we should do. These lads are super fit. And the difference between their lads and our lads, they want to play and they want to win. And I think our lads just say, oh, well, never mind. I think we've got the wrong attitude, and we've got to get back to saying, well, we're going back to the basics. We don't like being beat, and we want to start winning again.
Alex, thanks very much indeed. Let's hope we're not beaten again tomorrow.
Thank you.
And you can see what happens in the second test, Great Britain against Australia, on Grandstand tomorrow.
Central Park, Wigan welcomes a much changed but much younger Great Britain side, looking to equalise the Dominion Insurance Test Series after their disastrous start at Hull in the first test. There's a huge crowd here to see Great Britain, who have 10 changes, a record-equalling number, with only wing Des Drummond at number 2 and props Jeff Gratian at 8 and Trevor Skerritt at 10 retain. That half-back partnership of 6 and 7 of John Holmes and Ken Kelly have been brought in specially to try to get the passes out of the reach of these tough tackling Australian forwards. And there we have the two men who'll be wanting those passes on our left, Des Drummond of Lee and Henderson Gill on the number 5 on the right hand side. These have the pace to trouble the Kangaroos. Des, number 2, is the quicker, using his change of pace to good effect, but Henderson at number 5 is the stronger, and he's not afraid to run through his opponents. Max Krilich, the Australian captain, leads out the same 13 as the first test. They're obviously well satisfied with second row man Les Boyd is propping at number 10. But an interesting selection for me is the substitute Ray Brown, reserve hooker, and there has been some doubt about number 9 captain Max Krilich. He's been under treatment since the first test, and we could see a problem there for this Australian side. The referee, Monsieur Rascagnier, has flown all the way from Perpignan in France for this afternoon's match. He had a very good game in the first test at Boothbury Park, Hull, and he's rightly been retained for this second Dominion Insurance test. Steve Rogers, the Australian centre, in that green and gold jersey to kick off from the right of the screens. And Great Britain to receive on the left of our screens in white jersey and red and blue stripe. Keith Mumby, new selection at number 1 from Bradford Northern, tentatively bringing the ball away from his own line. Alec, in that first test, you rightly went along with Australia. Have you seen any reason to change your mind?
Well, I think there'll be a little bit of a difference here, because I think the Great Britain pride's at stake, and rightly so. It was a miserable performance in the first test, and I think the lads will say, well, come on, we can do better than this. And I think the game will be in the balance until very close to the end. I still fancy Australia, but not with a lot.
And John Holmes, a good kick into touch as Australia facing a slight breeze and playing into the sun. John Holmes. Oh, well, that Jeff Grayson certainly shifted that Australian forward. The new captain this afternoon, Jeff Grayson at number 8. Wayne Heron. Ken Kelly, Warrington number 7, brought in for his craft and his agility. Oh, good long ball. Stevenson looking for an opening, but well taken by Australia, Mal Meninga. Great Britain certainly giving this ball more room in this second test. One of the lessons that they should have learned was that we can't go down the middle with forwards just barging. We've got to get this ball out wide, and here we are trying to do it. Well, that was a desperate kick from Ken Kelly. Kerry Boosted bringing it away. Yes, and referee Mr. Rascagnier, he's very, very officious is this man. He won't have any lying on the tackler at the play of the ball. He had a very good game in the first match, and he certainly kept tempers on an even keel. Interestingly, Greg Brentnall there electing to kick for touch against this slight breeze rather than looking for 2 points in these early stages. But it puts Australia well on the attack. Oh, and a good driving run there. Just look at that prop forward Les Boyd go. We saw some of his driving runs in that first test. And this will be the first test of the commitment of this Great Britain tackling. This is what they've been working on. Peter Sterling, 5 yards from this Great Britain line. Oh, a good switch move. Oh, well, that was a good tackle. That's why that number 1, Keith Mumby, the Bradford Northern fullback, has been brought in. Oh, and another good tackle. Still 5 yards, bobbing about near that Great Britain line. Things looking dangerous. Sixth tackle coming up. Sterling still keeping this ball going. Well, I think already we should have seen in those 6 tackles a greater commitment from this Great Britain side. Prop Les Boyd there, finding no way through. We look to have stiffened up the tackling a little, Alec.
Well, it's nice to see, isn't it? You know, really taking the Australians on, because this is what we're going to have to do for the full 80 minutes. But it is encouraging to see Australia being held out with a tremendous amount of pressure early on.
And a penalty already for loose arm against hooker John Dalgreen. So this still keeps the pressure on this Great Britain line. Craig Young ready. Oh, Trevor Skerritt, Great Britain number 10, certainly meant to tackle there. Three yards from this Great Britain line. Sterling, Price. On a nice switch movement, but well taken by Ken Kelly, the Great Britain number 7. Well did he read that. Sterling. Australia still holding the trump cards here, and he's lost it. Well, that's a relief. Well taken by Chris Burton, but he's given an offside decision. Well, rather a strange decision, I think, from the referee, Monsieur Rascagnier. A lucky decision for Australia. Looked as if he's signalling for, yes, he's signalling offside.
Well, I think this is not a bad decision, actually. Just watch Jeff Grayson. He touches the ball, and so does Chris Burton. It's a touch decision, but goes to the Australians.
And it's Mal Meninga, this Australian centre, number 3. 35 goals already on tour. Created a record in this country in Test match rugby for Australia by kicking 8 in the first test. He should put this one away. And he does, very, very comfortably. And so, with 7 minutes gone, Mal Meninga puts Australia in the lead by 2 points to 0.
Australia, number 3, Mal Meninga.
And a good kick to touch puts Great Britain on the attack. The first time in that 25-yard area. Good, strong run. Ken Kelly, Bob Eccles. Well, the littlest man, Peter Sterling, brought him down. John Holmes, oh, and a lovely wide ball. But offside again, I think. Yes. That's the second time he's warned Steve Rogers, and he's telling him, yes, get back, get back. He certainly can't speak a word of English, Mr. Rascagnier, but his signals certainly indicate exactly what he means. And it's Keith Mumby to kick for goal. Just inside the 25-yard line and to the left of the posts. It's there, and the roar of the crowd greets it. And so, with 10 minutes gone, Keith Mumby puts Great Britain back on level terms at 2 points each. Well, that's nice to see. That's nice to see. That's the first time we've had an Australian forward push back. Rod Reddy, oh, Eric Groth. And a lovely tackle again from Keith Mumby. And touch. Well, these Australians are certainly making very little headway, Alec.
Well, isn't that nice to see? I'm normally a criticiser of Jeff Thracian, but Les Boyd looked round and said, is that an English forward? And it was, and what a great tackle it was.
John Dalgreen, the Fulham hooker, having difficulty getting his head in there. Well, it's collapsed. I don't think any of these front rows will be taking them home to meet mother for tea after this match. There's a lot of power there. There's a lot of fire in that scrum. And it's Great Britain ball. David Heron bringing it away. He looks to have plenty of rugby in him, this youngster David Heron, only 24 years of age. Bob Eccles. Ooh! Well. I think Ken Kelly stretched out on the floor, and the referee has given an obstruction. Well, I think once again Great Britain can feel themselves a little aggrieved there, as Brent now takes the kick to touch. And that kick 5 yards from the Great Britain line. They're a man down as Kelly still receives attention. Trilich 3 yards from the line. Sterling. Les Boyd, is he over? No, he's pushed back. Again, this solid commitment from Great Britain. I think in the previous test he would have been over, but not here. Peter Sterling, this is a little live wire, he's in. No. Push back again. Yes. And Monsieur Rascagnier's on the spot.
Well, this is a tremendous amount. He just dives over. He's a very strong lad, and he does well to score here. What a good try that will be, and an important try for Australia.
Peter Sterling, the young scrum half there, he did the damage. He weaved and bobbed about on that line, and he pulled the forwards in. He pulled them in to provide that gap for Ray Price to go through. And Mal Meninga, a much more difficult kick this time. Way out on the touchline, just inside the 25-yard, and he's got a fairly stiff breeze coming against him. But he's a very powerful chap, this man. 15.5 stone Brisbane policeman. I certainly wouldn't like to meet him in a dark street at night. And it's a beauty. Oh, well struck.
And
An excellent goal from Mal Meninga with 20 minutes gone. Australia go into the lead at 7 points to 2. Peter Sterling, Rogers knocking him off. Oh, and a beautiful ball to Boosted. Well, we certainly can't let that wingman Kerry Boosted get any space. Wayne Pearce, ready. Brett Kenny. Well, and looked a slight obstruction there with the referee wave play on. Meninga, Growth. Oh, and a beautiful ball. And what a try, what backing up there. 24 minutes gone, Eric Growth, the big wingman, took the men out of play, and who slipped in but little Peter Sterling at number 7. Is there any stopping them?
Where do you get rugby like this? Just watch this. Run ready. Meninga inside to Growth, and he shouldn't be there, but he is. And just watch the ball. You might think he played centre. Inside to Peter Sterling, and this lad's got a long way to go, so Drummond's flying after him. But he does well, he holds him off and just puts the ball over the line. What a good try that is.
He's certainly hauling some points together for himself, is this big Australian centre, Mal Meninga. This could be his 38th of the tour, and it is his 3rd goal of the match. And 15 minutes to go in this first half. Australia well in the driving seat by 12 points to 2. Les Boyd. These forwards are running now. Big men like Les Boyd, you can't give them a yard. Craig Young, Wayne Pearce. Oh, just look at the pace and strength of this man, Brett Kenny. And it's still going. Pearce, Growth. He's still going. Oh, and he's in. Well, here they are again. The size, the power. There's a combination of everything there. Eric Growth looks to have received a knock as he was going over, but what another try.
Well, this again is a quick pair of hands here, and this is a second row forward, believe it or not. Doesn't he do well, this Wayne Pearce? Slips the ball inside to Kenny, turns back outside, and there's the ball, never tackled, to Ron Ready, and Pearce again, and Growth. This is all wants to be scored. He knocks Bob Eccles off as though he's a little bit of paper. Ken Kelly clings on, goes over for a good try.
It's a high kick, but he's well wide of the mark. Sterling. Well picked up by John Dalgreen. And another penalty. Tugging at the ball.
Well, this is one again, and we'll watch little Kenny here. I think he's going to say, well, you've had one, I'm having one. Bump. Off you go.
And Keith Mumby's electing to kick it goal. Well, the crowd don't like him going for goal, but quite honestly, it's very, very early in the game yet, and 2 points is 2 points, and it's well worth taking. And he gets it, so with 30 minutes gone, he pulls Great Britain up to 4 points, and his decision's well justified.
Number 1, Keith Mumby.
Dalgreen still going, but going backwards. Oh! Well, that was a vicious kick from Les Boyd, number 10. There's no excuse whatsoever, and he's off. He's off. Yes, and rightly so. I don't like to see that in rugby. No need for it. He'd already been cautioned, and Australia number 10 dismissed from the field, and rightly so by referee Monsieur Rascagnier. And he's accurate. Well, 5 minutes to go. Keith Mumby may not have taken many kicks for his club this season, but certainly he's got 3 out of 3 already. And at 15 points to 6, he edges Great Britain a little back. Craig Young. A lot of responsibility on these Australian forwards now, only 5 of them. And there's the man with the responsibility, number 9, Max Krilich, slowing the game down there, sucking in these Great Britain forwards. Oh, and a good dummy. Good dummy from Brett Kenny. Ray Price looking to repeat his first half try, but not this time. Oh. Well, I don't think you could breathe on this pitch without the referee, Mr. Rascagna, knowing about it. He saw that very quickly.
I think we'll find here, just watch John Dahlgreen here. He misses. Does he go in? I think the referee might be right here.
It's a long kick. It's way out on the touchline. To the right of the post. But if ever there's a powerful kicker playing rugby league in the moment, this is the man with the power to kick such a goal. But not today. And so, with the 40 minutes gone, coming up to half-time, at the half-time, Australia still retain a commanding lead at 15 points to 6. And that huge crowd will be looking for something from Great Britain in the second half. But if we do get something, well, we must expect miracles. If there's a trophy for man of the match during this game, then I'm sure this referee for me would be very well near it. What a fine game is this man from Perpignan having. He's well worth the expense of the trip. He's firm with his decisions, he's on the spot. And he gets the second half underway as Lewis has come on the field for the injured wingman Eric Groth for Australia. And so if Great Britain are to stop Australia now in this second half from gaining the 13th consecutive win on this tour, they've got to create a record, pulling back from a deficit which has never been retrieved in Test rugby. Max Krilich, he looks very annoyed there. He's shouting, he's telling his men, get up here, don't leave me on my own. They'd left him exposed, but nevertheless, a kick to touch puts them on the attack.
Well, what we're going to do this half, and this is the very important thing, Great Britain's tactics, we've got to move the ball, we've got to stretch Australia, and we've got to take them on. And I think if we do, we might cause a little bit of a surprise here.
Ooh. Well, that's the best tackle we've seen so far. And what a cheer from the crowd for David Heron, the Leeds man, as he dumped number 11 Wayne Pearce to the ground. But here's Mal Meninga. Another tackle by the feet, brought him down. Sterling. Craig Young. They certainly run very, very powerfully, these Australian forwards. There may only be 5 of them on the field at the moment, but they still look fit. And there's centre Lewis. Wayne Pearce still keep the ball going. Brett Kenny. They're not afraid to let this ball go through their hands. Rod Reddy. Brentnell. Meninga. Well, this ball's like a piece of soap to the Australians. They're moving it everywhere. And another offence, yes. Well, surely Great Britain must realise that this man is on the spot. There's no beating this Monsieur Rascagna. The simplest punch from Ken Kelly, spotted immediately under the post, and another easy chance to number 3 Mal Meninga.
Well, I think this is a very needless penalty. Just watch Ken Kelly. There's no need for this, and I think he's just, boom, he definitely has a go, and it's a childless penalty.
But once again, Mal Meninga to take a simple kick from in front of the posts. Great Britain can't feel aggrieved at this man's refereeing. He concentrates as much on this kick as if it was on the touchline. And rightly so, because he puts it again between the posts. And with 3 minutes gone in the second half, Mal Meninga increases Australia's lead to 17 points to 6. Sterling having a fine game, this Australian number 7. He took over from the original choice, Mortimer, and he's proving it. Well, he's given a penalty. Max Krilic, it looked half a trip, it looked somewhat accidental. But I think Max Krilic, the Australian hooker, he'll accept it. And Gary Brentnell, this ex-Australian rules player, full back for Australia, putting it into touch, keeping them on the attack.
There's not a lot wrong with this decision, actually, because the actual Great Britain is stood in upside position and does strip him. Good decision by the referee.
5 yards from the Australian line. 10 minutes gone, Ray Price going for that Great Britain line, 5 yards there. How many times does hooker number 9, Max Krilic, go at the play the ball? Wayne Pearce, 2 yards from the line. Sterling, oh, and a lovely chip through. Oh, beautifully received by Rogers, but offside decision given. He might well loop round Steve Rogers, but he accepts it. And there's that man again. There's no escaping him. I think this chap must be the Maigret of French referees.
Well, this is a little grubber kick by Peter Sterling. What's Peter Rogers here? Does he offside, is he? It was a very close decision, but the referee's there.
Gratian looking for support, but it's not there. Holmes. Good ball to Heron. Henderson Gill beats one man. He takes some putting down with this Great Britain wingman. He's a very low centre of gravity. You need to knock him. Oh, it's still going. Oh, well. Well, the referee, unfortunately, had blown his whistle at the second knock-on. Great Britain should have received advantage there, but he was on the spot. And it's Australia ball. Kerry Bowstead. We haven't seen much of this Australian number 2. Very fast lad when he gets going. Well, it looked offside to me, but play on, says the referee. Sterling. Kenny. Oh, beautiful anticipation, and he's still going. Oh, and a lovely tackle from Keith Mumby. Into Sterling. Craig Young. These Australians certainly don't run in ones. There's people backing up off them all the time. Oh, good long ball, and he's in. Mal Meninga. 14 minutes gone in this second half. That long ball from Wally Lewis out to Mal Meninga, showing Great Britain what they should be doing, that Australia is still doing with only 12 men.
Well, have you seen a ball like this? Quick hands, 1, 2, 3, Ray Price, and look at this for a ball. It looks like a rocket. Bang, right in his hands. Meninga doesn't miss them. Drummond, forlorn hope. Good try.
Looking for his 5th goal of the match. Many people didn't expect this man to be even included in the test team, but here he is, the sensation of the tour. It's a high ball, oh, and it's a beautiful kick. He had the power, it had the... And with 15 minutes gone, it's that man again, Meninga, pushes Australia further ahead at 22 points to 6. Kelly, John Woods. We're coming back down the middle when we should be going out wide. Oh, Meninga pushes him off with contempt. And another one. Brett Kenny. Well, Meninga brought his side out of defence there, contemptuously pushing off Great Britain tacklers.
It's actually becoming farcical to tackle him, because no way should a lad like Meninga be allowed to run from deep in his own half and set Australia on the attack with Reddy.
Boosted. Oh, this is marvellous rugby. Wayne Pearce, Lewis, Brendel, Ray Price. Oh, this is unstoppable. The crowd are roaring, the crowd are cheering. Just look at that appreciation. And after the spectacular, there's the orthodox, there's the plodder, Max Krilich. He'll pluck the forwards in again, slow it down and then set it up. Craig Young, Rogers, Sterling, Lewis. Oh, well, a forward pass and a bad pass. And well might Mal Meninga look at him.
You cannot believe
and we have
side...
Ray Brown coming on for number 12, Rod Reddy, for Australia.
You cannot believe that this side was actually criticised in Australia for not being good enough. Now, the standard of rugby must be really high over in that country.
And yet another ball to Great Britain. When we think that Great Britain are monopolising these scrums by 3-1 possession, and that Australia scored 22 points, it certainly says something about our attack. Many people have said, can we beat Australia in these test series? No one, in fact, in test series has scored a try against them in the last 5, so I think now it's going to be who's going to score a try. Well, Ken Kelly, Great Britain number 7, he's worked hard to get going, but quite honestly, Peter Sterling has had far greater speed round that scrum. And the 6th tackle. And Ray Brown, the Australian substitute, moving up, number 15, moving up to the prop. Although he's a hooker, he has played prop forward for his club in Australia. And 10 minutes to go in this second half. Australia must be hoping for a little bit more possession from these scrums. They're losing. And Great Britain bringing on another substitute, Rathbone, for number 12, Chris Burton. Australia in possession, Max Krilich. 15 yards from this Great Britain line. They've been on the attack for virtually the whole of this half. Oh, nice dummy there from Lewis. Australia at the moment just lacking that extra man, that 13th man to make the overlap. Wayne Pearce. This is why Australia are possibly bringing their forwards down the middle a little bit more. They want to pull the Great Britain forwards in before letting it out wide. Steve Rogers, oh, look at that. And he knocks off Ken Kelly with ease in front of the line. And with 31 minutes gone in this second half, yet another try from Steve Rogers pushes Australia further in the lead, 25 points to 6.
Well, it's They're coming with nonchalancies now. Just look at this. A substitution. Ray Brown holds the ball, but just look at it for pathetic tackling. Knocks Ken Kelly off, knocks Mike Smith off, and he's very lucky in the end to put the ball down because a late tackle, but a good try.
Steve Rogers, one of the highest paid rugby league players in the world. This man just signed a contract with St George Club in Sydney on a contract of $50,000 a year. And another attempt from Mal Meninga. Already 5 goals in his pocket, looking for his 6th now. On the 25-yard line to the right of the posts. He kicked 8 goals in the first test at Hull Boothbury Park, creating a record for himself by an Australian in a test match in this country, and he's well on the way to beating his own record. It struck true, straight through the posts, and that's his number 6.
Represents 100 points scored on this tour by Mal Meninga.
Max Krilich looking for the ball. He wants to bring these speedy forwards back into action, and he does. Craig Young. Oh, good ball to Pearce. Just look at the power of that man. Frank Farrington, the manager, said to me he wanted to buy some boxing bags to increase the body strength, but I don't think he needs them with this character. Young, Price. Australia know they can throw this ball about anywhere now. It doesn't matter. Time's ticking away. They're looking for more points. 15 yards from the Great Britain line. Oh, Ray Brown. It's a bit like basketball at the moment. Craig Young, Max Krilich. Well, that should be another 6 tackles, and the referee has indicated so. So it's Australia still on the attack. 6 more tackles. 5 yards from the line, and that man, Ray Price, he scored a try in the first test. He scored one in the first half, and he wants another. Oh, Gary Brendel coming in the line well. One of the features this afternoon has been the attacking flair of that fullback, Gary Brendel, coming in the line. Great Britain defence, holding out in these closing stages. Rogers, Price, oh, here he is again, and a lovely try. No, he's disallowed it, he's not given it. Well done, John Dalgreen. He put him on his back as he went over the line. I thought it was a try, but the referee again was on the spot and he disallowed it.
Well, just look at this, Ray Price. I think he should have scored this try. Just look at the little chink. John Dalgreen does well here. Ray Price thinks a little bit cocky, but he turned him over. But I thought that was a try.
But the ball is still there. It's with Australia, 5 yards from the Great Britain line. They're determined to get more points. Steve Rogers. Meninga again. Well, what's this big man going to do? He's ploughing for that line, 5 yards from it. Great Britain now, desperate tackling in these late stages. Wally Lewis, Meninga. Oh, well, I think that's the first mistake Mal Meninga's made all afternoon. And that loose ball was gratefully taken with 40 minutes gone by Great Britain. At 27 points to 6, Great Britain must know that the Ashes have gone. There's very little we can do to retrieve them. And Australia are cruising on to the 13th successive victory. And there's the final hooter. And my word, in winning this second Dominion Insurance Test, 27 points to 6, Australia have now played 160 minutes of Test rugby. They've scored 13 tries, 5 in this one, 8 in the previous test, and Great Britain still haven't crossed their line. And Craig Young, that number 8 there, my word, what a fine performance he's had. He probably knows to himself, Australia's 6th consecutive test win against Great Britain, that equals their record, and they'll soon be going for another one in the next test. Australia, 27 points to 6, have shown themselves convincing winners again here at Central Park, Wigan.